Forwards, Catalan have Olivier Elmer, Ian Henderson, Remy Casti, Zeb Taylor, Elliot Whitehead and Jason Botteri, and their bench is Louis Anderson, Greg Muniz, Eloy Pellissier and Julien Bousquet. Now the disappointment for Wigan Warriors is that Ben Flower has travelled with the Warriors party, is not fit to play, he's not in the side. Sam Powell has passed a late fitness test. Matty Bowen is restored to the Warriors side after 9 games out in place of Rocky Hampshire. It's Bowen, Charnley, Tompkins, Sargentson, Joe Burgess, Powell and Matty Smith, the halves, and the forwards, Crosby, McIlaurin, Mossop, Patrick, Lan Patrick in the second row alongside John Bateman and Sean O'Loughlin captaining the side. And on the bench, George Williams, Talima Tautai, Ryan Sutton and Rodri Lloyd, the Welsh international, coming in to the side for this game. And we're about to get underway at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. James Child is the referee. Matty Smith puts boot to ball. And Catalan looking to avenge a thumping defeat they suffered at the DW Stadium earlier in the season, 34 points to 0. So they've got a bit of incentive. They have got their act together a bit more since then. And just unlike Wigan, got through to the next stages of the Challenge Cup, but only after a really strong tussle against Featherstone Rovers last week, and a game that cost them the services of Jeff Lima, who picked up a 4-game ban for his challenge, ironically on a Frenchman, Rémi Marquet, the Featherstone Rovers player.
I think both teams were below par last week, Bill, when they played in the Challenge Cup. Wigan obviously were beaten by Hull KR, and Featherstone just coming up short by 3 points in the south of France. And I think they were criticised as well about their attitude and their commitment. They know that they need to be better, because Sean Wayne as well has really ripped into his plays in the build-up to this week.
Well, one of the fallouts from that game was Ryan Hampshire losing his place, and Matty Bowen is back in the side. As I said, he'd missed the last 9 games, but according to his coach, he's been a model professional, and has, while he's been out of the side, has been helping the younger players, notably Hampshire, and doing his bit to give them some of his vast experience. But Bowen is back in the side for the Wigan Warriors for this game. And here's Sean O'Loughlin. Smith on the ball, goes to ground. Powell couldn't take it, and the referee will bring him back for the knock-on. And this is what they suffered against Hull Kingston Rovers last time out.
Well, Tony Gigot really got in the face. He has to make a decision. He makes it early and puts Sam Powell's mind in doubt. And you just see in his eye line, Tony Gigot, he's not allowed to catch that ball. And against Wigan, when you play against Wigan, you can't afford to give them time and space. They'll be highly motivated, the Warriors, after everybody agrees it's a below par performance they put in last week.
Here's Michael Oldfield for the Catalan Dragons, one of their try scorers in that 37-34 win against Featherstone Rovers. Rovers, of course, in action at the Summer Bash in Blackpool on Sunday when they play the Lee Centurions, the final game of that big weekend. And here is one of the form players in Super League this season, to my mind. Zeb Taylor has been in outstanding form for the Catalan Dragons. Henderson, good run from the Dragons hooker, but he runs into ferocious defence from John Bateman. Bateman catching the eye of Steve McNamara, as he said on Thursday night on Sky Sports.
Well, John Bateman, McIlaurin, they're the sort of players that Sean Wayne will want on the pitch for the majority of the game, because they know that they've got to meet fire with fire, as the high kick goes up from Scott Giroux here.
And Bowen is underneath it and takes it well, and Whitehead misses him.
It doesn't matter how many games that man's missed, who's going to play the ball. He played 270 appearances for North Queensland Cowboys. He's got so much experience, the skill that he's got, the vision that he's got from the back as well, and obviously he's a team player helping out young Ryan Hampshire.
Mossop is tackled by Remy Casti. Olivier Elmer pushing his luck maybe. Here is Sargentson, and getting the ball wide, the Warriors. That's good defence from the Catalan Dragons.
That was a good run from O'Loughlin. He came from one side of the ruck to the other, give an early pass just as he did on that occasion. They're trying to move the Dragons about, shifting the ball from one side to another, making their intentions early.
Good deep kick. And Oldfield nonchalantly traps that ball. He is a nonchalant sort of player, Michael Oldfield. Very effective, of course, one of the top try scorers in the competition last season. 23 tries in 31 games in his debut season in Super League. That ball has been stolen.
Well, I think it was Dan Sargentson who rips this ball from Elliot Whitehead. The contact's made, there's numbers in, or is it Joe Burgess, the winger, the number 5? I think if you looked at last week when they played, Sean Wayne talked about the penalties that they gave away, the mistakes that they gave. They put themselves under pressure, trying to dominate Elliot Whitehead, one of the fringe players for Catalan, gives that penalty away. And again, it's just simple field position built.
So Catalan in possession. It's with Jason Botteri, who was one of the players rested against Featherstone Rovers last weekend, back in the side, refreshed. Catalan 7th in the Super League table going into this game. They can move above the Castleford Tigers with victory here, and Zebtea reversing towards the Wigan Warriors line. Henderson is Giroud. Carney now. Escaré chipping in. Escaré looking for a gap in the line, but Sargentson has got hold of him. Powell comes in to support as well. Wigan have seen off that threat, so Giroud stabs a little kick in. It's too strong, but there's a Catalan player taken out. The Catalan crowd not impressed with that. Carney not impressed. James Child not impressed with their histrionics.
Well, it's Todd Carney who gets shoved while he's chasing that kick. We just caught him putting his hand up. He wanted the pass, and it's only the 3rd time those two players have played together, Carney and Giroud. We think back to that game against Warrington. They dismantled Warrington, and it was the 6 and 7 that were right at the fore for the Dragons. And when those two players are playing, the Dragons tend to play well.
Good defence from Zebtea. Stopped Matty Smith in his tracks. But Muckilorum, good work from him. Olivia Ellimer and Taya make the tackle. Botteri was down low. Wigan with Bowen, and Bowen wide to Charnley, and Charnley going outside Willie Tonga, trying to run over the top of Escaré, but play on, and Charnley does play on. Now then, the Catalan players look to the referee, and referee James Child awards the try. They were hoping for some intervention. It didn't come, and the Wigan Warriors supporters, there in number, celebrate the first try of the game.
Well, Wigan could go from one end of the pitch to the other, and you can see Matty Bowen. He supplies the pass to Josh Charnley, who's not tackled there. He gets up, Morgan Escaré can't stop him from running on and continuing with his run to the try line. You can see here, he goes in, he tackles him, but then releases him. So Josh Charnley has every right to get up and play that ball. But just have a little look at what Matty Bowen does. When he fixes defenders, sets Josh Charnley free. And he come up with a brilliant run last week in the Challenge Cup, didn't he? He's so strong. Scores tries, there's no problem with that, is there?
I think Morgan Escaré, it's a good reaction from Josh Charnley, who plays to the Wigan, the whistle. I think Morgan Escaré, when he gets in the clear, Josh Charnley, he's expecting Josh Charnley to kick the ball back in field to possibly one of his supporting teammates, but he chooses to run into him, try and bump him away, and in the process, in the roll, he rolls free. Good reactions, and the first try for Wigan.
Laurent Fraser will be looking at the reaction of his defenders, who all seem to be heading in the opposite direction with their backs to play.
Well, Matty Bowen, he fixed he fixed the centre and the winger with the pass, and then to score that try, I think that was soft defence, that, Barry.
Here's Matty Smith now. He's only 10 points away from 500 in his Super League career. So this, to cut that deficit, and in off the uprights, that'll do. And Josh Charnley with his 4th try of the season, out of the side for 9 games because of injury, came back against Hull Kingston Rovers last week, and a no-nonsense try for him. No sidestepping or any of that nonsense, just straight over the top of Morgan Escaré.
Well, I think the space was created because of one of the matchups of this game, which is the 2 number 11s, Zebtea and Joel Tompkins, both playing on that far side of the pitch. We'll watch that unfold as the game develops, but 2 big players, 2 powerful players with skill and threat. And it was the foil, it was the run that Joel Tompkins didn't get the ball in, but I think he just stood the defenders up. And again, just to back up your point, Tez, Matty Bowen, smart ball player that he is, he just puts Josh Charnley into space.
So they score to try and make a mistake. Wigan. Head and feed to Catalan. And they're the little things that will frustrate Sean Wayne. Joel Tompkins really strong in collision, but it was the forward pass from the ruck. That's what James Child blew up for.
James Child in charge of this game because of Phil Bentham's injury, which has kept him out of action this weekend. James, you're going off to Perpignan. Sorry about that.
And he'll have to keep control of this game as well, because this could be absolutely anything. With some of the characters that are on show, both, as I said before, both of these teams not performing well last week, and they've got to put it right.
Oh, that was a big shot. Sean O'Loughlin got his shoulder right into Elliot Whitehead, who was coming back on the angle.
He withstood the challenge, Whitehead. Here's Remy Casti now.
Move line, goal line. Go 3.
Made his 200th Catalan Dragons appearance last week, Casti. Escaré, here's Willy Tonga. Fouad Yaha is in the corner. Instant response from the Catalan Dragons. And Fouad Yaha, who could conceivably have been accused of one of the players at fault when Josh Charnley scored his try a moment ago, comes up with a good response. And claims his second try of the season.
A lot to like about the build-up to this try. And it's Todd Carney who feeds Morgan Escaré, and Willy Tonga, who's been a consistent performer with a nice one-handed offload. Willy Tonga is more of a providing centre, hasn't scored for the last 5 games. Puts the young winger Fouad Yaha in the corner. And a good response by Catalan.
Bustling, bulldozing winger, 18-year-old Fouad Yaha.
Yeah.
Has been on the wing for the last 4 games with Vincent Dupont out injured. Now then, Scott Giroux. He had a breather as well, missed that cup tie.
Have you got me, Thierry?
Difficult conversion this, out wide. The wind is blustery at the Stade Gilbert Brutus.
Okay, mate. Time out.
So Giroux to level the scores. It's looking handsome. It's bang on target. And Wigan's 6-0 lead doesn't last for too long. 6 points apiece.
And when Todd Carney goes at the line, then followed by Scott Giroux, they fix the defenders. So when Willy Tonga gets it, he's already running at Joel Tompkins, who plants his feet, and then as he skips to the outside, he pulls in Josh Charnley. Joel Tompkins loses his footing, and then Yaha goes in. That's creating space for the edge players.
Fouad Yaha, the youngest Frenchman in Super League, beating Théo Fage to that honour. So Matty Smith restarts. And Catalan, whoa! Remy Casti, Sean O'Loughlin came in then.
Is it a shoulder charge he's pulled him for that? You could question the last time he went in on Elliot Whitehead. They have to control their emotions, Wigan. Everybody knows the motivation involved in this game and what they need to do and what they want to do, but they've no God-given right to get any points from this game. They need to focus and concentrate on the things that they're good at. Just take care of those little 1%ers.
Wait!
Yeah, Sean O'Loughlin obviously looking to dominate this big Catalan pack. Remy Casti not at all put off by that last confrontation. Just takes it right into the heart of action again.
They keep putting the ball back. I think they're possibly targeting the big fellas, the middlemen. You watch how many times they'll drop the ball off, put it back inside, and on this occasion they're looking to shift.
Oldfield scoops up that pass. Here is Tony Gigot now. As I said, back after 4 years away. He's been with Toulouse, brief spell in London, Avignon. He's even been with Cronulla for a short time. And now he's back in Super League. Giroux.
Holy moly.
Was he playing advantage here somewhere? James Child, I think so.
Well, he said play on. I thought the contact from Dom Crosby dislodged the ball. Thought it was a good tackle.
There was an attempted offload from Oliver Ellimer, and it looked like they were playing P-rollers here at this point, and I think that's the one that goes forward.
Well, it was the tackle before that.
Yeah.
It was the tackle before that when Dom Crosby goes in.
On Ellimer.
Yeah, puts the shoulder in, and I thought he lost that ball.
I think he offloaded it and there was a hand on it.
Second row, guys. Second row.
But a bit sloppy, a bit messy. And the ball to the Dragons.
And it's amazing, isn't it? All this pressure's come around because of the forward pass from the ruck when Wigan have scored, and all of a sudden they've conceded a try. They've been under pressure.
Heads in, Matty. Heads in, stay.
Scott Giroux now feeds the scrum, and they're attacking just 40 metres out.
Here is Gigo. He's been busy, hasn't he?
He has, and obviously we've seen him many times in the halves. He's playing on an edge. He's a very elusive runner. The question marks about his defence, I guess we'll judge that as the game unfolds.
Catalan. Oof, Bateri. Cannons off the first challenge. Henderson will dart towards the line. Carney gets the pass away to Giroux. Escaré thinks there's the possibility of a gap there, but Wigan slam the door on the little full-back. Here's Giroux now. Good defence from the Wigan Warriors. It was Lee Mossop. That tackle needed to be made there. Here's Giroux. Long pass out wide. Here is Gigo. He is back 4 years away. Tony Gigo certainly is back for the Catalan Dragons. Gets his first try of this campaign. And the Catalan Dragons go ahead.
Well, early on in this game, Scott Giroux, Todd Carney, Ian Henderson and Morgan Escaré, they're all having good touches with the ball, and Tony Gigo goes up from the pressure that Wigan seem to be putting on themselves. The good ball out wide, it beats Dan Sargentson when Gigo, when he steps off his right and goes over. I don't think he dropped that ball.
I'd like to see the put down again. This might be the angle that'll tell us. He's holding it in one hand. I think he thinks he's over.
There's no problem with that.
Okay. I retract that statement.
They're just moving the ball from one side to the other. Morgan Escaré, the balance, you can see that the Wigan defenders, they're backing off. They're trying to buy some time. The mesmerising runs that they're coming up with. And as I say, the spine for Catalan are really dominating this game.
Luan Pellissier and Louis Anderson on the bench, among those on the bench for the Catalan Dragons. Giroux, does he need somebody to hold the ball here?
He does. The wind is just blowing it off the kicking tee. Who gets the job? Was this your job, Taz, when you was younger?
And then I went off.
Yeah.
Hold the ball, then I'm substituted.
Yeah. No, you did the water as well. You was good at that. You did a mean Bobby Boucher.
Jason Bateri. Scott Giroux already landed one from the sidelines.
I think he's praying though, Jason, don't kick me.
What do you think of his technique, Tez?
Giroux can't land that one. Shake of the head from the Dragon scrum half, but it's 10 points to 6.
Well, that's the ball. That's the ball that puts Gigo in space. Scott Giroux, Todd Carney. They'll need to dominate and dictate. And good halfbacks can speed a game up, slow it down and control, as we see Sam Powell in an early change.
There was a suggestion that Sam Powell wasn't fully fit ahead of this game. I think he had a fitness test in Perpignan this morning. Now, whether that has backfired on Wigan.
Well, George Williams, it's a good job they've got someone like George Williams on the bench who's had a lot of game time. In just 16 minutes, Sam Powell's
lasted. Could be a rotation, but
16 minutes.
Yeah, it could be. Obviously,
for a rotation to happen on 16 minutes, though, Barry,
it's
for
unusual.
a half-back is unusual, isn't it?
It's unusual.
Something off the ball there that the crowd didn't like.
Well, the referee, James Child, said, well, he hit on suspicion. And now the mistake from Catalan. Sorry, Bill.
Yeah, Bateman's picked up the loose ball.
Well, mistakes going against Catalan now. And Wigan are in good ball. Let's see what they can do here. George Williams will need to step up to the plate alongside Matty Smith.
Dom Crosby plays the ball. McIlorum, that's a stray pass, but it's well scooped up. I think it was Bateman again. Here is Williams. Plenty of tackles in hand in this set of 6 for the Wigan Warriors, and Lee Mossop takes it in. Bateri makes sure that he can't get the offload away. Matty Smith puts the brakes on, changes direction. The pass doesn't find the target, but Lane Patrick, who's come onto the field as well for the Wigan Warriors, beg your pardon, started, of course. It's so used to seeing Lane Patrick on the bench, but he's starting today. McAlorum making progress. Little chip kick, Sargentson will pick it up. Can't quite benefit Sargentson.
Back to one.
Well, it was a kick out from dummy half. Sargentson reacted. Catalan are penalised. George Williams, a left-footed kick. It hits Oliver Ellimer, I think it is.
Anywhere in line there, mate. Yeah.
More pressure for the Dragons to deal with.
Okay, mate. Yeah.
They lead by 10 points to 6, having been 6-0 down early on in this game at the Stade Gilbert Brutus.
They need more movement, they need more attacking options down here.
Wait.
Wigan.
Go, Remy, you're not square.
McAlorum, quick hands from the Warriors, but the pass is just not finding their target. That one does to Charnley, but Charnley staying on the field only briefly. And he's in touch, and that's good defence.
You know, I'm going to give a big rap to Todd Carney here. He's cut down a number of players on a number of occasions. When every time Wigan seemed to be shifting the ball to the right, he's coming up, he's stopping that play. And then when the ball goes out to the right, the numbers come in.
He did it to Matty Smith on the set of 6 before that.
So Catalan will be pleased with that. There have been times this season when their defence hasn't been quite so committed as that.
But you know, I was looking at the league table, and there's only Wakefield that's conceded more points than Catalan. That's incredible.
Well, they conceded 34 against Featherstone last week.
But you think they're a dominant defensive side who can score tries, who can do runs like this, and then obviously they make mistakes, turn the ball over, invite the opposition near the try line.
Henderson jumped out quick. He was trying to look for a penalty from the referee. The ball came loose by whatever means, and Wigan get possession in good field position.
Greg Muniz is off the bench to make the tackle. Crosby, good strong run from the Warriors prop. They're only 10 metres out. Good little passage of play this for the Wigan Warriors, but can they profit from it? Goal line, says referee James Child. That's where the Catalan defenders should be. Again, they go to Charnley's wing. Tompkins, half tackle by Willie Tonga. Here's Rodri Lloyd coming from the bench. Sean Wayne really ringing the changes after the first 20 minutes or so of this game. Long hanging kick and well taken by Tony Gigot. What a start he's having to this game.
Well, that's a wonderful take, fantastic take under all kinds of pressure. 2 or 3 Wigan players trying to put him off. He collects the ball. He's a super talented player, Tony Gigot. Has got some glitches and flaws in his game, but with the ball, he's electric.
Henderson again, off he goes. Zebtea. O'Loughlin misses him, but the defenders are there to make the tackle. Crosby among them, fling Zebtea to the ground. Bateri. Here is Willie Tonga now. Tonga, skips inside. Joel Tompkins. Great footwork from the former Australian international Queensland origin man as well, Willie Tonga. And then Todd Carney puts a kick in.
Such a shame that Morgan Escaré was in front of Tonga. He got the ball free, you're right, Bill. Beautiful footwork. And Matty Bowen, with all that experience, decides, there we go, there's the kick. What about this for a take? Both hands up. I think Dan Sargentson, he was only a hair's breadth away from collecting that and getting another Wigan try.
Release from me. Wait, Jay. Go.
So Wigan Warriors in possession. Here's Joe Burgess.
Wait, Jason, wait.
Try scorer in the last 4 games in League and Cup, Joe Burgess, in a good little run. Had a bit of a shaky start to the season, but he's been one of the Warriors' standout performers in the last few weeks. Sean O'Loughlin. Matty Bowen, and Bowen, he was trying to hurdle them.
Was it the hurdle, Sean O'Loughlin? I've never seen that move before.
This is great defence from the Dragons.
Wigan kicking deep. It's not a bad kick. Escaré. Well, there's plenty of athleticism out there.
There isn't.
The two full-backs in particular.
And looking at both sides, and probably the one who's winning at the minute on the energy levels is Catalan. They seem to be getting through the tackles, they're getting through the kicks, they're obviously in front on the scoreboard. When Wigan have had good field position, I don't think they've asked so many decent questions near the line. I think there's been a couple of one-up carries in set to 6. Is this a penalty? It's a penalty.
George Williams has his hands on the back. You can't blame Wigan for being a little bit apprehensive when they get up that end of the pitch. They know they're running out of weeks and chances to get it right. But there you go, there's the...
Well, that's the danger when you lock up the ball, you take the man to ground, and because your arms are on him,
yeah,
and then Whitehead loses the ball or lets go of the ball, yeah, you give the penalty away.
That's a very good description, Tez, well done.
You'd always run that risk, thank you very much.
It's a rare compliment.
It is.
I'd cherish that one if I were you. That's this season's compliment.
It's a rare compliment because it's a rare
it's on
occasion.
The
I understand what he's actually saying, but...
Julien Busquet on the field for the Catalan Dragons, and here is Gregory Muniz now. Catalan leading by 10 points to 6. Greg Muniz, one of the players who was around when these two sides met in 2006. Catalan Dragons' first Super League game, a memorable night that was when they beat the Wigan Warriors. Carney now. Looking for his first try, maybe scented an opportunity there, Todd Carney. 10 metres out, plays the ball. Talima Tautai on the field. Giroud tried to sell the dummy. McAlorum having none of it. Makes the tackle. Giroud slowly to his feet. That ball touched, says the referee.
Oh, what's he doing?
Oldfield has put the kick in. And the referee will bring him out. That was the free play.
It was the free play. I thought it was back to one. He hadn't heard it and was just taking a punt. But good signs for the Dragons. Todd Carney took that ball into contact. There was 2 or 3 players, Wigan players, put some real pressure on him. And there's the indecision and the apprehension of the Wigan players. I think it's Ryan Sutton who ends up with the ball in his hand.
Do you think it is apprehension? I mean, out of the cup, there is only one thing to play for now.
Yes, there is. But as I say, you try to go back to basics, go back to your default. What do we do? How do we do it? Talked about the 1%ers, the little things, the little aspects and facets of the game they need to get right. That's the thing to focus on. Don't think about the outcome and consequence of getting it wrong. Just invest all your energy in actually doing the process stuff.
Pateri takes a fierce tackle from Sean O'Loughlin again, the captain leading by example. Julien Busquet straight up the middle. McAlorum showing strongly for the Wigan Warriors early on here. But Zeb Tyre bursting through as he does. He'll get another Catalan Dragons try right under the posts. That is the danger man. Just as he did last time out in Super League, Zeb Tyre. And he gets another try. And he, in fact, becomes the club's top scorer this season with his 8th.
Well, it's a fantastic line, real strong line, running back against the grain. Everybody expecting the ball to go to the back runner. Rodri Lloyd just grasping at the shadow that Zeb Tyre casts. Quality pass, a good decision made by Todd Carney. And he gets the Dragons their 3rd consecutive try. I agree with you, Bill. I think he's a wonderful player, a real asset. He can play in the backs, he can play in the forwards, strong and powerful, but fast and skillful as well.
That was his 8th try of the season. He got 2 tries in the big win against St Helens just a few weeks ago, and that's certainly raised the Catalan supporters. Giroud adds 2 more points.
It's the line that Zeb Tyre hit He starts his run on the outside of Matty Smith, and then he cuts back under, and Matty Smith's thinking that he's still going to be where he is, but to score that try, absolutely fabulous footwork, fabulous vision, and one of the best players and best back rowers in Super League.
Dragons Player of the Year last year, 16-6 the scoreline then in Perpignan in favour of the Catalan Dragons.
Well, Bill, you don't know whether he's going to run over the top of you, he's going to beat you with footwork, beat you with speed, or he's going to offload the ball. He's come up with 33 offloads this year, and the offloads that he comes up with, he gets them in good traffic. Wigan get the ball back. Well, there's an indication of the wind.
Talima Tautai chased that kick for all he's worth. It was Matty Smith's restart, hung in the air, and Tautai has put Wigan Warriors right on the offensive immediately from the restart, and they're going to profit from it surely with Joe Burgess as he comes back in field, but it's all hands to the pumps for the Catalan Dragons. Immediately back on their own try line, having just a few moments ago been celebrating on the Wigan try line. Here's Williams.
Well, if the ball goes away from you, you've still got to keep moving. You can't switch off, keep on working, effort on effort.
Oh! But Terry went desperately high. He's conceded a penalty because he didn't. If at first you don't succeed, then commit the penalty.
It wasn't a swinging arm. Well,
it was
that one was a swinging arm, but Jason Bateri flung himself at Ryan Sutton. Here's the kickoff, and Mr. T, as he's known, can't believe his luck when it lands in his hands. And you've got to meet that anxiety. We're talking about anxiety and apprehension. They can't afford to hesitate. Can't afford to think about the consequence. There's the, well, I'm not sure. I think that's more of a flying squirrel technique.
Is that a
Jason Bateri.
Is that a technique?
So you didn't think that first one was high?
Brendan Hill, the former Halifax.
So did you not think that one was high?
I didn't say it wasn't high. I said it wasn't a swinging arm. The second one was a swinging arm.
From Moonves.
The first one was a flying squirrel, which Brendan Hill perfected back in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, it looks like...
How's it look, George?
Quick word from Jérôme Guisset there for the French audience. Your mate Adel Falou.
Let's work these markers, guys.
Lovely fella, Adel.
Okay.
But I'm glad to see the stretcher being ushered away. The doctor and the physio, they just want to look at his neck, his jaw, make sure he's okay. There's a little bit of red sweat around him.
He's enforcing himself, isn't he, young Ryan Sutton?
He won't mind. You give it, you take it. Some you win, some you lose.
You go back to round one when he played at Widnes, and he just ripped into Kevin Brown.
Do you remember his set two with Craig Hughley?
Yeah, he doesn't
feel no respect.
I said last week, Bill, he's 19 years of age. He's an incredible talent.
You wouldn't have tolerated it if a 19-year-old had come along putting himself about like that.
No. I would have pulled my calf and gone off.
Shake of the head from Barry.
I can remember being 19 and having that fire in my belly, Bill. That's the trouble.
Hold, go.
Talima Tautai, who has put Wigan Warriors in this position, and can they capitalise now with Dan Sargentson? Yes, they can. And Sarge on the scoreboard for the Wigan Warriors. Great response. 16-10, kick to come.
Well, Dan Sargentson, he was running up to Young Player of the Year last year, to Darrell Clark. He's got amazing footwork at the line, and you can see the amount of white shirts that are in front of him, but the speed of which he steps off his foot and can still accelerate through the gap, that's what causes problems. It's very difficult when you're defending your line. You can't move forward, you're moving laterally, and you've got to try and prevent somebody from going over the white line. He is a fabulous player, isn't he, Dan Sargentson? When he gets the ball in his hand, whether it's an early ball or a late ball at the line, the little stutter there, you can see Tony Gigo, well, he's clutching. He can't get a full-on shot on him.
And the double pump from Matt Bowen, I think, helps stand up the defensive line of the Dragons. You'd back him one-on-one on most occasions, Dan Sargentson. Great balance, great rugby player, and got that good instinct, that scorer's instinct.
Dan Sargentson going into this game looking to make amends for that cup loss. Of course, that spill late on allowed Old Kingston Rovers to capitalise. Ken Sear with that winning try in that game. Matty Smith has missed. It is a difficult day for the kickers. Paul Deacon just has a word.
Well, it's Matty Smith and the double pump of threat with the ball, but he does sometimes have lapses when he's defending.
Wigan back in business then, having seen a 6-0 lead overhauled to the tune of 16-6, 16-10 the scoreline now. Half an hour gone at the Stade Gilbert Brutus in a windy Perpignan. Held calls the referee.
Well, Sam Powell back on now. He's gone on as hooker as Wigan make a mistake.
So it was a rotation.
Yep. And this is the second try. They scored 2 tries in the game. The next set of 6, they've made a mistake.
Yeah, John Bateman reaching for that ball. When you're that close to onrushing defenders, you don't always want the ball in front of you. You want to run onto it, yeah, but you don't want to have to think too hard about catching the ball because you've got enough going on in front of you. That's the reason John Bateman, I think, is a little bit hard.
Was that his ball or Joel?
It was his ball, but it was a poor pass.
Whatever it was, it didn't go as planned, and it's given Catalan Dragons head and feed at this scrum. Here is Morgan Escaré, always looking, but not having quite as prosperous season, Morgan Escaré. Just the 3 tries to his name so far. I think he got 29 last year. Catalan.
Keep turning that ball back inside. That's a developing thing. That big men doing effort on effort, like Tez said.
And then going wide. Went backwards, says the referee. Play on, so Todd Carney does. And they've gone a long way backwards, and Louis Anderson plays it on the 20, I think it is. And then Giroud throws a long pass for Gigot. Good footwork from Gigot, but the posse of Wigan defenders there to wrap him up in the tackle. On the last, and crossfield kick. Giroud hoists it, hangs in the air, batted back. Zebtair can't get that down, surely he hasn't.
Well, he looks confident,
He's just run out of room, I do. I think he's a very honest player. I'm going to go off his reaction. Well, no, I'm going to say no.
He'd have to be a contortionist to get that one.
He puts himself in the frame. The kick is high and hanging. It looks like it's over their head. Are they onside? Difficult to tell. If you judge that he's onside, Fuad Yaha loses his footing.
Well, Josh Charnley tries to bat it out of the field, doesn't he?
I think it's his hand. I think you're right.
Yes.
He gets his hand on it. Now,
they'll look at that, man.
Oh, what a try.
Goodness. I beg your pardon.
This is the angle that would tell us.
I think it's a try, Barry.
It's definitely Charnley's hand. That is a try. I take it back.
Yeah. He needs to back himself, Zebtair. He walked away like he hadn't scored it.
Modest Cook Islander.
Well, I thought it was a confident little nod of the head to his teammates.
You're only saying that now.
James Child awaiting communication from his colleagues, Thierry Alibert and George Stokes, doing the video reffing in Perpignan. Scott Giroud has the ball lined up for the conversion.
Yeah, it's a try, Brad.
That's confirmed. The try is awarded. Zebtair gets his second of the game. He is a talented player, because that required great athleticism.
He's absolutely incredible, whether he's playing in the centre or the back row. And Josh Charnley, well, he was back last week after missing 9 games, and he's got to catch that ball. You can't just try and bat it out of the field, because things like that can happen when you've got attackers running onto you and putting pressure on you. You have Zebtair, you have Yaha, the 2 big men. There's 2 very big men. You've got to make sure you catch that ball.
And the spatial awareness that he needed to be aware of where he was on the pitch, how much space he had to play with. Good finish.
Giroud, I think, is going to need somebody to look at the win there. Typical Perpignan blow that is, the wind probably coming off the med. Just like Blackpool. Willie Tonga, I wonder if they'll have any more luck with him holding the ball. Camera's even struggling to keep still as the wind blows around, but Giroud is on target, and Catalan lead by 22 points to 10.
Zebtaye getting his second try of the game. Coaches talk to players about getting in the frame, be around the vicinity. You just never know what might pop up for you, and that's exactly the train of thought that Zebtaye had on that occasion.
So he gets his 9th try of the season, Zebtaye. That time, Catalan Dragons don't allow Wigan Warriors to profit from the restart. Once bitten, twice shy for the Dragons.
But watch the urgency the Dragons are playing the ball now. It doesn't give Wigan enough time to get back. That late retreating runner, you see there, Sean O'Loughlin can't take his place in the line. That means there's less defenders than there is attackers.
Catalan looking to make up for a 34-0 defeat at the DW on April the 12th, the 5th time they'd been nilled on that Wigan ground.
Good shot.
Sargentson will pick the ball up for the Wigan Warriors.
Was that George Williams? He's hit Elliot Whitehead right in the midsection. And the ball spurted out. That's the reason they've got head and feet at the scrum. What a tackle. Plants his feet, jumps up and whacks Elliot Whitehead, and the ball comes loose.
Last 5 minutes of the first half. Catalan lead by 22 points to 10.
We just need to build some pressure here, Wigan.
Wait. Go.
Powell.
Move back up, Morgan.
Yeah, Ryan Sutton. Again, it's simple to read. There's
Go
the youngsters courageous, as is this man, the captain, who always leads by example. And they're taking the ball to the heart of defence, tying up those big fellas, whether they look to shift the ball wide here or just turn it back inside. Just again pulling the players in around the ruck. And then hopefully there'll be some space on the edges. We've got good shape here.
They're coming to this, they're left again. And they've lost the ball, and Oldfield will pick it up. I think Michael Oldfield was trying to pretend he hadn't got it then. He was sort of sneaking away with it. Nobody's noticed. Here's Gigo. They've noticed him today, that's for sure.
And again, it's another play, the ball that Catalan have won. Players landing on the front, making it very difficult for Wigan to control the speed of this game.
There's Louis Anderson, once again coming off the bench, the Kiwi international. Giroud, Whitehead on his shoulder, back to Giroud. Giroud darting through a gap in the middle. He was looking, there was nobody there. Carney is there now, and Carney throws a long ball to Oldfield. Oldfield will go on the outside, back on the inside. Gigo will get his second try of the game. And Catalan ending the first half with a flourish. And what a return it has been for this man, Tony Gigo. He played against Featherstone last week, his first Dragons appearance since a cup tie against the Giants 4 years ago. He's got his first 2 tries since returning to the club in this game against Wigan.
Well, what about the body language and the smiles on the faces of the Dragons players? That's a booming pass out to Michael Oldfield, who throws a speculator back inside. In the frame is Tony Gigo. It was a little bit unfair, really. George Williams picked up a knock, couldn't get back in the defensive line. You see Matty Bowen, he's taking the punt and the gamble that ball is going back infield, but Tony Gigo sees the open door and strolls right through it. Look at that for a pass.
Well, Todd Carney said before he played a game this year that he sets his standards high and he's here to play rugby. And what about that ball? The skill levels from Carney, from Giroud, 2 halfbacks that are willing to to take the ball to the line, no matter how many times they get knocked on the backside, and that's where the reward comes from.
Tony Gigo's holding it now.
He's everywhere. I'm sure this is a highly paid job in American football, isn't it?
And do you know what, Bill? I'm just looking at the Wigan players. There's not much communication from those lads. They know that they're second best in this first half.
The scoreboard behind them shows they trail 26-10. Giroud will add 2 more points. He does. Bangs against the swimming pool windows at that far end of the ground.
Well, again, this was a brilliant ball. Look at that. He runs at the line, he stops the Wigan defenders, and then Oldfield to get rid of that ball. They had numbers there, but they just couldn't prevent Michael Oldfield from passing the ball inside to that man who scores, Tony Gigo. And they look like they're enjoying themselves. That's why they're playing well. Again, the kickoff lands short. Ian Henderson catches it.
Oh, I'll tell you, he's an antagoniser, isn't he? Catches that ball, stands still and says, come on if you think you're hard enough.
O'Loughlin will be penalised there, surely.
The referee had no option, did he? Sean O'Loughlin couldn't clear the ruck quick enough. And obviously, Catalan knew exactly what they were doing then. They knew that they could gain a penalty if they made that ruck sloppy, if they dropped that ball.
Well, I'm watching Wigan now, Tez. I'm watching the Wigan players, and I'm trying to pick up who's going to be the one that steps forward with a composed decision, influences his teammates in a positive way. Lauren Fresenius knows that his side are in complete control of this. But Wigan aren't dead and buried. They're not out of this game, but they need to probably do to Catalan what Catalan are doing to Wigan.
Willie Tonga into the last minute of the first 40 at the Stade Gilbert Brutus, a game that had started so promisingly for Wigan. They led 6-0, that Josh Charnley try early on. Well, it's been turned around to some effect by the Catalan Dragons, who are leading pretty comprehensively at half-time. And coming again for a second is Fouad Yaha, or is he? Did he skirt with the whitewash there? Referee has no doubt, and Fouad Yaha gets his second, and this game is getting away from Wigan now. And this rumbling winger, Fouad Yaha, gets his second try of the game, his third of this season. Just 18 years of age, he's raw, but he's powerful.
Well, again, Todd Can, just watch at the speed. He changes his tempo of his run when he goes at the line, and he attracts 2 defenders. You can see that Joel Tompkins, he comes in as well, because Zeb Teya, he's having a little look at the dummy runner, and he's a man mountain, isn't he? Yaha, the youngster's got some size, he's got some speed. Just have a look at the pass. That pass, yet again, is brilliant. He hit the nail, he hit the pass on the right-hand side, he does exactly the same on the left.
Imagine what's going through the mind of Fouad Yaha as he's approaching the line, about to score his second try against the great Wigan Warriors. Yaha was probably thinking, yeehaw!
I've been waiting for that one ever since he got into the side. Well, it's not as though his uncle Baghdad played for PSG back in the day. He's certainly filled the role of Vincent Dupont on that wing, and Scott Giroud has landed another one. The final kick of the first half. No wonder they are all smiles in Catalan colours, because at half-time in Perpignan they lead by 34 points to 10 against Wigan. We'll be back with the second half.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of